Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. We have another Minnesota Vikings news video for you guys today. As you see, we have three topics we're going to be discussing. We got two dudes in the trenches who on the defensive side of the football the Vikings should really consider bringing in. Then we also got to talk about our guy, K.J Osborn. What will his role be with Kevin O'Connell, and what type of reps, what type of action could he see? Because we do have a lot of mouths to feed. I'm going to be talking about K.J Osborn's role a little more in this video. Thank you guys so much again for the support. It's been unreal. I mean, I say this every video, but you guys don't get enough credit for it. So again, thank you guys so much. Let's get into this video right now. All right, so Sheldon Richardson for the Minnesota Vikings. He played with them last season, and he had a very underrated year. Sheldon Richardson was one of those guys when we were watching the Vikings last season, and maybe it was just me, but I felt he made big-time plays. Like when it was a third down or a huge second and short, he made the stop. Or if it was a long 3rd and 7 on a huge drive, I felt like he made the play. He had the sack. He got the pressure. I think he's extremely underrated in just the NFL world, as you know, we got all these young D tackles that I think people are trying to get their hands on, and these young edge rushers. But if we could bring back a guy like Sheldon Richardson on a 1-year, $4 million deal, kind of like how we brought back Everson Griffin last season, and we just kind of sit back and say, you're going to be mainly our 2nd and 3rd down guy. We're gonna have a huge rotation in D linemen. We just need to keep it going. We just need to keep the carousel going, keep the train chewing, and just keep getting these stud defensive linemen in and out, because, hey, that's what wins in the NFL. You look at the last 4 Super Bowl champions, they all have a pass rush. They all have edge rushers who get to the quarterback. It's the one thing you really need if you want to make a deep playoff run, is good play in the trenches. I'm all in on Sheldon Richardson coming back, especially if you can get him for a 1-year, $4 million, $5 million deal. Why not? All right, I was thinking about making a whole film breakdown video of this, because this is one of my favorite players in the NFL that's not on the Vikings, and I absolutely hate him. I hate him so much. I don't like him. I really don't. And that's Akeem Hicks. And I don't like him because he kicks the Vikings' ass every single time he plays us. But please come to Minnesota. Akeem, there's not a chance you're watching this video. But if you ever come across it, I would start crying if you came to Minnesota, because I am so sick of seeing you manhandle and ragdoll Garrett Bradbury, Drew Samia, whatever garden gnome offensive lineman we throw in there that tries to hold you. I'm sorry, but come to Minnesota. It's a fun place. And anyways, Akeem Hicks, he's set to be on the market, and CBS Sports actually reported that they could see Akeem Hicks coming to Minnesota, which I was a little shocked about. I did not think Akeem had Minnesota on his radar. I'm assuming he will re-sign with the Bears. It seems like he likes the culture there. He likes playing with Khalil Mack, but damn, if Akeem Hicks could come to Minnesota just for even 1 year, I don't know how many more years left in his prime does he have, but please, Akeem, if you come to Minnesota, I will start crying. You are one of my favorite players in the NFL, and you just wreak havoc on our team every single year. You know what? You don't need to come to Minnesota. Just please don't play us next season, because I have a feeling it's gonna be Garrett Bradbury again, and we're gonna see another manhandling given by you to Garrett Bradbury. All right, and our last topic, K.J. Osborn. K.J. Osborn, he really had an underrated season last year, and he came on really strong. He had that big game at Arizona where he had 100 yards and a touchdown, and he had some huge catches at the end of last season. So I think K.J. Osborn, I think people are thinking he's going to take a step back next year. That's just like what I've been kind of gauging in Vikings community and Vikings Twitter, that people think maybe because of the amount of weapons we are going to have and the amount of miles we're going to feed, he will just kind of be a guy. I don't think that's true at all. I think K.J. Osborn is still one of the most underrated receivers in the NFL, and I think he will be our wide receiver 2 next season. I'm not saying he's better than Adam Thielen. I'm not comparing them. He's on a different level. Adam Thielen's a veteran. But I think Adam Thielen, he is so damn good in the red zone, and he is getting up there in age, that they might not limit his reps, like put him on a rep count, but they might use him strictly in the red zone and get the most out of him that they can from the 20 and in the red zone, where I think we might see a K.J. Osborn. He might outgain next season Adam Thielen by like 400 yards. I know this is kind of, I don't really have much to base off this, but just watching K.J. Osborn, watching how good he is, and seeing how there's, Kirk missed him a lot last season. There was a little compilation on Twitter of K.J. Osborn running wide open and Kirk just not looking at him. So I think KJ, I think with Kevin O'Connell, I think they know that he's kind of a special talent. I think they will get the most out of him, and I think he will be a guy that, we could plug in as a wide receiver 2 in fantasy. I think the Vikings are going to have 3 receivers who you could play in fantasy next season. In Jefferson, KJ, and Thielen. So let me know what you guys think down below. 3 topics: Aikeem Hicks, Sheldon Richardson, K.J. Osborn. Let me know about all 3 down below. And as always, Skol Vikes.